All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are going to break down a system that has, and I'm not exaggerating here, changed millions of lives. It's David Allen's world-famous methodology, Getting Things Done, or GTD for short. This is all about gaining total control over your world and finally achieving what he calls stress-free productivity.
But let's start with a question, one that I think you'll find pretty familiar. Why is your mind always so full? Seriously, does it ever feel like your brain is just a web browser with 100 tabs open at once, all playing different sounds? If you're nodding along, you are definitely not alone.
And look, that feeling isn't just a feeling. It's a real problem. All that mental noise, that constant nagging list of things we should be doing, it's a massive drain. This quote nails it. It's the single largest consumer of time and energy. It's like a background app that's just killing your battery life.
So to really get the solution, we've got to dig into the problem. Why do we all feel this way? Well, it turns out the very nature of work and, life itself has changed so fast, and our brains just haven't caught up.
The real source of all this mental clutter is what David Allen calls an open loop, and it's a brilliant term. An open loop is anything you've agreed to do, internally or externally, that you haven't finished yet. It could be something huge like plan the marketing launch, or something tiny like remember to buy milk on the way home. Your brain, bless its heart, tries to keep track of all of it, all at once.
And that's because work itself is completely different now. In the past, work was obvious. You built a chair. When the chair was done, the work was done. But today, we do knowledge work. And this kind of work has no clear boundaries. A presentation can always be polished more. The research is literally endless. The work is never, ever truly done.
And when you mix all those open loops with that work that has no clear edges, you get what the book calls, and I just love this phrase, an amorphous blob of undoability. It's that awful, paralyzing feeling you get when you look at your to-do list, and it's just this one big, messy blob, and you have no idea where to even begin.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's kind of stressful just talking about it, right? But here's the promise. The whole point of GTD is to help you achieve a state of being that sounds almost like a superpower. It's called having a mind like water.
So what does that even mean, a mind like water? Imagine a perfectly calm pond. If you throw a pebble in, it ripples appropriately. If you throw a huge boulder in, the splash is much bigger. It always responds with the perfect amount of energy. That's the goal for your mind. A state of relaxed control where you're not overreacting or underreacting, and you can give 100% of your focus to whatever you choose.
And this is the difference. Right now, most of us feel controlled by our stuff. We're constantly just reacting to the latest email, the loudest notification. With a mind like water, you are in the driver's seat. You're the one who gets to decide what gets your attention, and you can make that choice with total confidence.
But how do you get there? Well, to achieve that state, you have to understand the single biggest aha moment in the entire GTD system. It's this fundamental shift in how you think about your own brain and what it's actually for.
And here it is. This is the big one. Your brain is for having ideas, not for holding them. It's an absolutely brilliant tool for creative problem solving and being focused in the moment. But you know what it's absolutely terrible at? Being a filing cabinet. It's a horrible office.
The best analogy for this is your computer's RAM. Your conscious mind works just like that. It's for active processing, for what you're doing right now. When you try to store all of your to-dos, your reminders, your worries in your head, it's exactly like trying to run 50 heavy-duty programs all at once. Everything slows to a crawl, and the whole system starts to crash.
And look, this isn't just a clever idea. Cognitive science backs this up. The research shows that our conscious mind can really only juggle 2, maybe 3 things at a time. That's it. So when you try to hold on to a mental to-do list of 15 or 20 things, you are literally setting yourself up for stress and failure.
Okay, so if your brain is a terrible storage unit, how do you free up all that RAM? How do you actually get your mind clear so you can think? Well, the answer is the GTD method itself, and it breaks down into 5 really clear steps.
This is the entire workflow. First, you capture everything, get it all out of your head and into a trusted place. Second, you clarify what each one of those things actually is. Third, you organize it, putting it where it belongs. Fourth, you reflect. You review your system so you can trust it. And finally, you engage. You do the work, making choices with confidence.
Now, that clarify step, that's where a lot of the magic happens. And it includes what might be the most famous productivity rule ever, the 2-minute rule. It's so simple. As you're processing your stuff, if you realize an action will take less than 2 minutes to complete, you just do it, right then and there. Don't file it, don't track it, just do it. If it's longer, you either delegate it or you defer it into your system.
And where you defer those things is so important. You don't just dump them into one giant, terrifying to-do list. No way. You sort them into specific, logical buckets. Hard appointments go on your calendar. Tasks you could do anytime go on a next actions list. Things you're waiting on from other people go on a waiting for list. You get the idea. Everything has a home, so you always know where to look.
So, after all that capturing and organizing, what's the real point? What's the big payoff? Well, it's something much bigger than just having a clean inbox. It's about gaining the power of choice.
Without a system like this, you're pretty much just guessing. You're reacting to whatever's yelling the loudest and just hoping you're working on the right thing. But when you have a complete, trusted inventory of all your commitments, you can look at your options and trust your choice. You're not driven by the noise anymore. You're guided by genuine clarity. And I think the whole philosophy comes down to this one beautiful paradox. You have to use your mind to get things off your mind. See, this isn't about not thinking. It's the opposite. It's about using your brilliant brain to do some thinking up front, to build an external system you can rely on so that your mind is then free to do what it does best: create, focus, and just be present. So I'll leave you with a little challenge, a way to start this journey right now. What is the one open loop, that one little thing that's been nagging you, rattling around in your head? It could be big or small, it doesn't matter. Just grab a pen and paper or open a note on your phone and write it down. That one simple act, that's the first step. That's how you begin.